What's up, guys and gals? Welcome back to the Nerdcast for the next episode of Pillars of Eternity. My name is Splattercat, and I'm happy to have you here today as we hang out for a little bit and attempt to go find a guy in Kuanua who is going to teach us how to be a proper watcher. So there it is. Our abilities at voyeurism are going to increase under the tutelage of a master voyeur. This guy's got lore all locked down. That makes me a little bit nervous. Maybe I'll start using him for mechanics then, because I think I've got lore already taken care of, so it might be a decent plan to make him take over with our mechanical needs since we have no rogue as of right now. Maybe later on he'll be a tad more useful, but yeah, I don't know. It's either that or we can have him do survival, but I figure for now he'll fill in on mechanics. It's just one level, right? On this side, we get to choose spells. Okay, this could take a little while. We got Bewildering Spectacles, obviously one of those glasses-related attacks. We've got Confusion on our enemies, AoE. We've got a Web that hobbles people, AoE style. Bulwark against the elements, makes it so you take less damage. Combusting Wounds, foe AoE 5 burn damage over time when hit for 26. That's not bad, actually, considering we are running a melee party right now. Cancelhat's Corrosive Siphon. Drains 33 corrosive damage, so essentially that's a channeled attack. Curse of the Blackened Sight blinds an enemy for 26 seconds. Fetid Caress. It paralyzes an enemy and AoE sicknesses people. Infuse with Vital Essence. Infuses the caster with vitality, giving them a temporary increase in current... Okay, so it's a buff to your HP. Merciless Gaze. Plus 15% hits converted to crit. Ooh, for 60 seconds. Yikes. Miasma of Dull-Mindedness. I think I have that a lot of the time. That might be a real problem for me in real life. What does it do? Perception, it lowers that. Okay, Mirrored Image. That's going to give him 20 deflection. Necrotic Lance does corrosive damage and continues to deal damage after it hits. Ray of Fire, 10 to 17 burn versus reflex. Okay. And then we can choose to make that so it does... Okay, it's a beam form. And then we have Rolling Flame. 21 to 32 burn versus reflex. The interrupt is 0.5 seconds. Well, the ones out here that jumped out at me were... Combusting Wounds seemed like it would be a good idea because we have a lot of melee people. And then, I don't know if I want to go for debuffs or a lot of DPS right now. I think he's probably going to get to pick more spells every time he levels up. I can pick them from right here too. Oh my god, there's so many. Okay, so what does Chill Fog do? AoE freeze damage and blinded. Parasitic Staff summons a weapon. Okay. Eldritch Aim gives accuracy. Fleet Feet gives move speed and defense. Ghost Blades do 21 to 32 pierce and an AoE and hobble the enemy. That seems pretty awesome. Jolting Touch, 21 to 37 shock damage. Foe jump targets. Okay. We might want to have like a number of different abilities that are all different elements. I like that one right there because it just does piercing damage, which is pretty good. So we'll try that out. I mean, maybe I should take 2 level 2s until we got more stuff. I don't know. It's a tough call to make. I don't know how these are going to be that much better. Maybe I'll go with Necrotic Lance since it does corrosive damage, and that seems like it'll probably be useful. Sure. Why not? Alright, so back in we go. And what is this guy right here? We need to know what he is. It looks like he's a fighter, maybe? Or some kind of dervish. He's got scale mail on. Could throw a helmet on his head too, just in case he wants one. I want everybody to be riding in here. We're going to have Saints Rose colors going on. I want everybody to be rocking the colors right now while we go through. Everybody's got to be like looking the same out here so that I know who to identify where. He's got a cool cape on. It's got himself like a little radiant breeze thing going. That's pretty sweet. That's pretty shiggity sweet. I can support that. This guy doesn't have the proper... Get your colors on right now, man. Get your colors on. Let's go. Yeah, we'll go with like that lighter bluish color or whatever. And then after that... Hold on, what color does he have? That's like a royal blue that I don't think I have. Unless my eyes are tweaking with me right now. I don't know. Either way, we seem to be kind of kitted out. This might work to our benefit. Well, let's just lock we need the colors, though. We need everybody to this. I used to do this back when I played Baldur's Gate 2, just so I could identify my guys. I color code them all in combat so that I wouldn't get confused and end up running around looking at dumb shit the whole time. Alright, so back out and into the wilds we go. I think 3 people should be enough to fight a bear. Did we ever actually figure out, like, what he was? He's a 3rd level fighter. Oh, okay, so that's actually pretty solid right there. Let's go back to Valewood for right now. It doesn't look like we can go to Cade Nua right now. Maybe we have to exit towns on the proper side in order to get to where we want to go. I'm going to fight that bear. I'm going to give it a stern look and be like, hey, I can hardly bear to have you in this area. Prepare to die, bear. Prepare to die. And so off we go. We should be able to speed up here fairly quickly. With 3 people and a good fighter, maybe we'll be able to make it through this. I don't know how badass this bear is going to be. He could be a lot more hardcore than I. There's no way to really tell. However, if he's more hardcore than I'll make sure not to bat said I at it. Alright, so we're in.
Hey. Alright then.
Let's start out with a... Yeah, let's get him over to here. What was his name again? Adir, that's right. His name is Adir. I don't want you to go... I want you to hang out right there. On this side, we have Arcane Assault. Unleashes a bolt of magical energy that inflicts raw damage and dazes targets. Sure, go for it.
Hey.
On this side... No, don't do that. Don't do that. I didn't know you had to be like point blank with him. Okay, so you get in there now. Let's lower... Oh, no! Okay, so it did half the health damage. Oh, my God. Okay, so run away. Run away.
Venture forth
Oh, no. Okay, so you Healbot then. Healbot all day long.
Yes.
On this side, we're going to have to go through and... Let's go for a Necrotic Lance on that thing. Maybe we can kill it. He just took a lot of damage, though, so I'm a little bit worried about his long-term safety. On this side, we should have that AoE thing, right? We have the... Yeah, drop that right here. Make us regenerate. You, run in circles. Run in circles. Disengage. Now get back in the circle. We can live. On this side, how many times can we Necrotic Lance? Necrotic Lance this fool again, right now. And put it differently. Go, go. No, put some zip on it. Put some zip on it right now. Oh my God. Okay, so now that I know we can't evacuate from combat, I learned something today. We need to be very, very careful about the way we engage our foes. Let me heal everybody a little bit and see if we can make this better. Our endurance is looking a little bit low. Or no, that's our... Wait, our health? What? Hold on. What? Maybe I was looking at the wrong meter. I don't know. I saw red go down and it made me panicky. I don't know if that was my endurance or what that was. We got a bear hide over here. It might be worth money. Might be able to sell it to somebody. A figure drifts suspended in the musty air of the cavern. Its form and features blur and twist in the cascading ripples of incandescence. You feel its energy eddying about your limbs, filling them with a heavy chill. You reach out a hand for the spirit, and in a moment of contact, you feel as if you've been struck a blow, head reeling as you tumble helplessly into the waiting darkness. Light blooms at the edges of your vision. You feel the sun at your back and the weight of a bow in your hand. You know suddenly that you have come a long way from the vale hunting deer. Now you're standing before a caravan and the darkness extends far into its depths. Even so, your friend strides out before you, his red cloak flapping at his heels. You follow, heart hammering in your chest as he leads you deeper into the cavern. There's a roar like thunder echoing all around you. Fear seizes you and casts you stumbling back towards the exit, towards light and escape. You see a glint of steel, and there is a sudden terrible flash of agony behind your knee. You scream, tumble, and fall. Your thoughts are chaos, lanced through with pain, but in a moment of terrible clarity, you see your friend look back from the mouth of the cavern, his dagger daubed in crimson to match his cloak. Then there is a great dark shape above you, and then there is more pain. Your vision recedes, and you are thrown back into yourself with seemingly resentful force. The corpse lies at your feet, the specter lingers. In the span of energy between you both, you feel a sense of questioning, of confusion, and of anger. Be at peace, spirit. May you be blessed with greater fortune in the next life. The spirit roils with thwarted anger and grief. Sorrow seems to seep into the very air of the cavern. The spirit dims and fades until you are alone once more. Okay, so find the man with the red cloak. I think we know who we're looking for. We're looking for a non-time... Ooh, a great sword? Yeah. That's so much better than just like a good sword or just a passable sword. What is this? Cave coral. Huh. Mice crawl through the eye sockets and over femurs. Well, that seems like maybe a little thing that we didn't need to notice along. It's morose. It's very, very dark, and I don't feel so good about it, but whatever. We'll figure this out along the way. Alright, down we go. So maybe actually when we were getting hit, we were having endurance go down. I don't know. Our endurance seems to be... Our character is definitely wounded, as far as I can tell. Yeah, he's lacking like half of his health, so... Maybe we should fix that somehow. Let's go back to town first. No, don't leave by yourself. That's a bad idea. Leaving by yourself is the worst of ideas. What is that? Oh, that's right. That was the moldy, muddy vegetables. Okay, well, I'm glad I didn't take on that fight all by my lonesome. That would have ended really, really poorly for me. Let's go back into town and see if we can find this red-cloaked guy and avenge. I think I know where he's at. I think I might know where he's at. He's in a little house on the top end of town from what I played before, so we'll see what happens here. I think that's where Nantan went anyways. That was Nantan's name, right? Nantan with the wontons who eats bonbons. Maybe one of these ones up here. Let's go have a look. Is there anything... Oh, we can loot from here? Yeah. Ooh. I don't know what gold rot chew is, but I guess I'll take it. So the man with the red cloak. I see no red cloak in here, although she has a super pimpin' robe. And then she's got herself a pipe, too, so I'm going to leave her to her smoking for right now. Nobody deserves to have their leisure time completely and totally destroyed by random adventurers not knocking on the door and just being like, hey, I'm in your house, what's up? I'd be a little bit worried if fully armed men just, like, showed up in my house randomly. I'd be like, so, what are you doing here? I don't remember inviting you. Are you just, like, here to chill for a little bit, or are you here to steal my stuff, or what? I see a red cloak.
Gods keep you.
I hope Gilded Veil has been kind to you. I know what really happened in that bear cave, Nantan. The color drains from his face. I don't know what you mean. I told you the truth of it. Are you accusing him of something? Ingrown looks to Nantan, touching his arm. If this is about the accident, we're both grieving Pearlie's loss, but it was a wild animal's doing. Nantan shakes his head minutely. You see a tremble in his hands. What would make you suggest such a thing? Why did you do it? He was your friend. Nantan hesitates, and then his expression darkens. My friend. He was a cruel enough man to his friends, and you didn't know him. Maybe you wouldn't defend him if you did. His hand falls to his sword belt. Nantan, wait. Ingrown raises a hand. I don't know what you saw in that cave, but this isn't what you think. Pearlie, my husband, he was as much a beast as that bear. I tried to leave the first time I suffered his temper, but he wouldn't have it. She looks away, expression pained. Nantan, we met, and I knew I'd found someone special, someone kind, and someone who cared for me. Please, all we want is to leave this place, to start somewhere else. She looks down at the satchels. We have some coins saved up, and you could have it if you'll only let us go. So we could take the coins. We could take it to the magistrate. We can keep the money. Ugh, I don't like these decisions. Decisions make me sad. I'll probably turn him into the magistrate, maybe. He just wants to leave, but he did murder a guy. Technically, he didn't murder a guy, but he hamstringed him so that a bear could kill him. Then again, divorce didn't really happen during this time period either. You're pretty much stuck for life. Keep the money. Go start a new life. Then thank you, truly. I'm glad you understand. Only here, take this at last. I hope it brings you luck. She looks to Nantan, smiling. We have a long journey ahead of us. I wish you well on your travels, stranger. We won't forget this. So what did we get? I mean, honestly, she could have been lying and bullshitting and just saying that he kicked the crap out of her. I mean, that's also a possibility, I suppose, that I hadn't really considered until the task was done. I bet that's what one of the journals says. I bet the journal's just like, ah! So that's a history of Durwood. I never read books and games. I don't. I just simply and totally do not. Let's put this all inside of our stash, shall we? What is this, a ring of deflection? Mayhaps I shall wear it then, that I might have greater deflection away from my person, seeing as the great bobs and missiles that have been hurled towards my flame, I've been setting things on fire recently, and it's caused people to throw things at me. A lot, actually. Well, having looted this place out, I guess we could try and figure out... So if I leave the town from different directions, does that take me different places? Like, let's say that I go up and out this way. Wait, there's some mushrooms. Hold on. Being the herbologist that I am. We know there's more grain in there, Trumbull. We won't settle for scraps while you grow fat on our crops. A muffled shout emerges from inside the mill. The first of you drunkards comes through that door gets a shot between the eyes. Gods hear me, Swain, or I'll put you down like a dog. Come away for now, lads, but we'll be back, Trumbull, and we'll have fair prices, or by the flame we'll have a reckoning. Okay, so against the grain... Oh, look, it's a punny quest. Investigate the feud. I guess we'll go take a look at it. I am a completionist, by the way. An elven man stands before you, his relatively stocky build suggesting a life of labor. His face is pale and drawn and his eyes wide. Behind him, a younger man and woman exchange worried glances. The miller raises a club as you enter. It shakes violently in his grip. Get back if you value your life. Hold on, I'm not here to hurt anybody. The miller hesitates, then lowers the club. Wait, I know you. You just came into town, right? Don't tell me Swainer's already got his claws into you. Gods, that's all that I need. My name is Bag of Bones Bronson, and I've only arrived from Gilded Vale. Trumbull shakes his head. You picked a bad time to come visiting. Gilded Vale's had all its shine scraped off, just a big dung heap now, and Swainer thinks he's the king of it. They're all of them mad. Who's Swainer? The dwarf, the one standing outside there spreading lies among the villagers. Bastard's been here for decades, and he hasn't gotten any kinder with time. The miller hesitates, then lowers the club a fraction. Who are you? Is Swainer roping foreigners into this little crusade now? What was the ruckus outside? He shakes his head. Where to begin? Swainer's whipped them up into a froth, going on about the grain stores, claims I've hidden away most of it. All I do with the grain is sell it. I can't create it out of thin air, and I can't hand it out for free. I pay the farmers for the crops they bring in, and I sell what comes out of the mill. Most of it goes to the Black Hound on the west side of town for ale, and Swainer and his lot sure don't mind that part. You take a look at the fields on the way into town, the crops are blighted, and most of what I'm getting from the farmers, he gestures to the sacks and containers, it's gone off, it's rotted through. I can't pay top prices for blighted wheat, and I've barely got enough good grain to go around. Swainer's howling after things he has no right to. Sounds like a pretty clean story for a messy situation. It's not, he pauses. Look, Swainer's always been a rotten bastard. With stores so limited, maybe I have the good stuff for people who deserve it. Maybe I save the good stuff. Alfra, for instance, she's expecting a child. Should I let her starve instead? Do the villagers know about the grain supply? He looks embarrassed. Some. The innkeeper, for instance. It's better not to worry anyone. I'll be trading for supplies soon enough. If we could just keep things calm until then, we'll be in the clear. Alright, well, let me go have a talk with Swainer then. The miller all but sags with relief. I'd be grateful if you did. He won't listen to me anymore. But maybe you'll have better luck. Tell him I'll be having a hard time of it, and we'll all have to make some sacrifices. He'll be into your debt, or we'll be in your debt for it if you can convince him. Alright, who are these people? Okay, so it's his kids. Alright, well, let's go out and we'll talk with Swainer. I don't know where we find this guy at. I wasn't planning on getting hitched to like a whole bunch of side quests in here, but I am a fan of side quests, and I do like to complete a lot of stuff, so I'll have to figure out some way to keep this whole thing flowing. I don't know, maybe if public interest like if public interest sort of like sags low, that means that we'll go straight for the storyline. But up until then, until I find out, we're going to do lots of side quests and stuff, so there it is. They said he might be up in the inn. Well, we'll have a look, considering we have a contact with the innkeeper. Swainer, are you in here? There he is. Swainer, Gaffwin, and Breathen. Alright. Well, let's take a couple people off right here. Let's have a little talk. Don't know who you are and don't much care. You better keep walking. We're not here to chat with foreigners. Aloth narrows his eyes. Careful. It looks like they're cut from the same cloth as those rowdies who attacked me. He wrinkles his nose. Smells like it, too. You shouldn't wrinkle your nose. You gotta iron that out a little bit. Keep it nice and smooth. Otherwise, you get lots of, like, nasty little crevices and craters. I don't know. Watch out for it. Trumbull says you've been threatening his family. Oh, I'd bet he has. All nobility, that Trumbull. 2 big, strong kids, purest soul in all of Gilded Vale. He sneers. Coward sending out messengers to handle his business. Well, you can go and tell him. We haven't had a solid meal in days on account of him, and we can't afford a good drink on account of him, so we won't be bullied by some foreigner on account of him. What if I buy you all around? Will you talk to me then? He considers it briefly, then looks to the others. Fair enough. You bring us something to wet our throats. Might be I'll feel up to trading words. I almost said might be I'll feel up to feeling you up. I was like, no, that's not the agreement right now. I'm not sure I'm ready to give up my body like that for my goals.
Well met, friend.
I'd like to buy a round for the fine fellows over there. Fine fellows, you're having me on. Any more fighting and I'll have to ban Swainer from the inn entirely. She frowns. Until then, it's 6 copper pieces for the lot. Alright, please, if I can just get them talking, I might be able to convince them to stop harassing the miller. She studies your face for a moment, then sighs. Well, that's alright then. Here, 3 drinks for 3 fools. You get them off Trumbull's back, and maybe he'll be a little less stingy with his supplies. Alright, so back in we go.
Welcome.
I brought the drinks. Hey, so you have 'em. By the flame, I'd never thought I'd be so happy for a mug of the Black Hound's shit beer. They make their beer with shit? That's not good. That sounds really, really unpleasant. Dane the hiccup got me. Gods, that's good. Alright then, you've got my attention. What is it you got to say that's worth a round of drinks? Look, there's no sense threatening the miller. You've got him up against a wall. Maybe you could ask some of the other villagers for help. Swainer eyes you for a few long moments, drinking deep from his mug. Then he sighs. You're right. Things go on like they are. We're just going to end up hanging from that tree out there. Tell Trumbull we'll leave him be. It was that easy? Don't know what we'll do for now with the crops failing. Haven't got another trade to speak of. Think Posca needs a hand around the inn? Alright, well, I guess that works for right now. Let's grab everybody, and we'll move on out. That was a lot simpler than I thought it would be. I thought that was going to go down, like, way, way nastier. I figured we probably have to murk some fools. Normally, I'm not adverse to it, but for right now, we've already killed, we killed 3 people outside. I figure that's probably, 20% of the entire population of the town. We probably want to stay away from hurting people any worse. Let's go up here and see what we can handle. We need to go to the mill, as it were. So let's jump inside. And once we've handled the mill, take a look here. Where's Trumbull?
Good day,
There he is.
stranger.
Trumbull nods a curt greeting. You're back. Have you had any luck with Swainer? I spoke to him. He takes a deep breath. And what did he say? I've convinced him to leave your family in peace. Why, that's... Really? Well, that's great news. I wasn't sure you'd get through to him. They're out of their minds with drink half the time. I owe you a great debt. Oddly enough, ironically, we solved the issue with drink, so there it is. Normally they're out of their minds with drinks, but this time we managed to get them into some cups and into their minds. So he pulls out a coin purse from his hip and pushes it towards you. Today's earnings to show my appreciation. You can be sure I'll let everybody know what you've done for me. Keep it. You're having a hard enough time. That's a generous soul, friend, and we'll have to thank you for making it through the coming year. Safe travels, and may you find favor with the gods. And so there it is. Quest completed against the grain. What did that do for us right there? Looks like we got some extra XP. Okay, we've gained reputation with Gilded Veil, a moderate amount. Where do we actually seek that out at? Where do we see what our reputation is? On this side, quests. Perhaps notes? No, we can make our own notes if we wanted to. Got locations, lores, character statistics. That's not what I wanted. I wonder where you track that down at. Maybe on our character sheet somewhere. Personal. We have 4 crits. We have times knocked out 0. That's good. At least we've never been knocked the hell out just yet. Armor of Faith. Repulsing Seal. I don't see anything on here that indicates what our reputation is with any given faction. Wonder where you would find that at. I'll have to track that down. We do not own a stronghold yet. Well, why don't we? That sounds pretty awesome. How come I don't have a stronghold? I want a stronghold. Hell, I'd take a weak hold at this point. Any hold, honestly. Any hold that would be useful. Let's travel up and out of here, and we'll start our trek east to see if maybe we can make it out to the next storyline fragment. Haven't talked to everybody just yet, but I feel like it might be worth it. I'm going to avoid mind reading people too much for right now, because I do think that that's going to get us bogged down in a ton of dialogue menus that may not be conducive to like actually making progress during the course of the episode, but occasionally we'll do that in the eastern wood, the eastern wood anyways, so maybe south is the way that we want to go out of here. Either way, I want to work my way around and see if maybe we can accomplish something. There's the southward road. We'll watch out for anybody else that can be talked to. Oh, and we should actually go to the blacksmith and see what he's got, shall we? Let's stop on in and see if he's got anything. We should also probably stop at the inn and sleep for the night, right? On this side, we got a couple of people that we can mind read, and then we've got the innkeeper over here. This Amua man is of an impressive build, towering above the countertop. His skin is the dusky blue of the deeper oceans, and his thick arms boast corded muscle. Small ears frame a square-jawed face coated in smeared soot and arcing black tattoos alike. He offers you a broad smile as you approach. Welcome, you're the first new face I've seen in quite some time. What can I do for you? What do you have here? You come to us at a strange time, I'm afraid. The stock's not what it used to be, but we find weapons and armor to offer yet, all forged right here at the Black Hammer. What happened? We just don't have the supplies. Been expecting the next delivery for near on a week now and haven't seen a sign of it. Have to expect they were hit by bandits. The road out east is crawling with them. Or my workers ran off with the wagons themselves, maybe to make some coin. Tautanu snorts, as if that lot would dare. He's right about the bandits. The dire situations in villages like this and the exodus to the cities has created far too many opportunities for unscrupulous sorts. Tautanu scratches his jaw, thinking, if you happen to be headed that way, maybe you could keep an eye out for the supply wagon, or my shipment at least. They'd be cutting through the Black Meadow, I expect. Only good road for it. As it is, most of our weapons go to His Grace, Lord Radric. Tautanu glances at the nearby guard, and that's as it should be, but it doesn't leave much for outsiders. We just don't have the iron. Okay, well, I'll see them back safe and sound. I'd appreciate your trying anyhow. You bring back the supplies at least, and I'll have much more to offer you. A discount to start. And if you find my workers, you give them a good smack upside the head for me. Okay, well, I don't see how doing smack is going to help this, but hey, never mind. I never turned down a good Azarith's Stiletto. What does that do? Spell striking, jolting touch. Gives jolting touch 3DR bypass. Ooh, that's a gangster weapon right there. Gives you a little bit of defense mitigation. Gina's Lance. Mail armor, scale armor. We already have that stuff. I think everybody's locked in with that already. I don't think we have the money to afford a lot of this stuff, but it's good to know. A rope and grappling hook might be helpful because I know we've run into that. I'll also bring along that. And the figurine, what does it do? It summons Animat. Okay. It's just a guy named Matt who has animalistic body parts sticking out all over him. A cat's leg, dog's ear. It's Animat. Nonetheless, I think we'll travel to the south. Once we get that done, well, maybe we should go east and try and do the side quests. I don't know. Let's go east. Let's go east for a little while. I'm perfectly fine with changing things around a little bit if we're not going to get one thing done versus another.
You must gather your party before venturing forth.
Dat classic shout right there. Dat classic splash. Let's go out to Esternwood, shall we? See what happens out here. We got a couple minutes left to spare. Okay. Well, it looks like we're on a centralized road. East to Radrick's Hold, west to Gilded Vale. I don't know if we want to hang out with Radrick. Radrick seems like the kind of guy who's a dick. A burned lady. Okay, so we've got that right there. Apparently she exchanged barbs with somebody, and the exchange got the better of her. She's been burned. She needs that ointment. Warding symbols as red and rough as scabs have been carved into the trees. Okay. Looks like we have zone exits around here. Little bit of extra mushroom. Orland's Cradle. And then what looks like, oh, what the hell is that? A wicked? I guess that would be a white. Oh, God, they're fast. Okay, so let's go ahead and cancel out all of your orders.
Hey.
I'm going to have my warrior engage on that side. We'll have him engage on this side. I don't know if we have any turn undead or anything else like that that could be useful. But for right now, Arcane Assault. Let's get on it. So there it is. That was actually pretty lovely. I enjoyed that. We're losing a little bit of HP for right now. We are taking some damage. How are they faring? Not so well. They're actually taking damage far quicker than we are. And so the fight is not one... I try to avoid joining a fight where the enemy has like a real advantage over us. Go ahead and pop that off real quick to see if we can get any health back. And actually, while I sit here and click spells randomly, I think this is probably a good time. I forgot to talk to you guys about how there's 2 HPs in this game. So Endurance, you want to think about it like this. Your health is divided into long-term and short-term HP. Endurance is your short-term HP and can be healed with spells, potions, and all that good stuff. Your long-term HP cannot be healed by any other means other than staying in an inn or camping. And so what happens when they run out? Well, when you get hit by an enemy, damage resistance is applied, and then the damage is divided between your long and your short-term HP. If your short-term HP runs out, you just get knocked the hell out Friday style. If your long-term HP runs out, you actually permanently die on some difficulties, and on lower difficulties, you become permanently maimed, and then they add you to sort of like a fantasy disability list. And so I figured I would explain that right here. Now, why did they implement this system? I think to keep heal botting to a minimum so that you can't heal scum your way through fights. So heals will allow you to extend combat a little bit, but not too much in this game. Anyways, I'm going to break it off right here. I will see you all later. Hi, do out there, everybody. Pillars of Eternity is a blast, and you should be playing it. I'll see you later.